This tutorial is going to go over how to use Educreations.com in order to screencast a lesson for your flipped classroom. So the first thing you need to do is sign in to Educreations.com and sign up for a free account. Now you also can get the free app for your iPad, which I have another tutorial posted on the website that you can check out as well. But for this tutorial, we're going to use the online version. So you can push pause on this video, sign up for an account, and then come back and join us for the rest of the lesson. Once you're signed in, you can access your account at the upper right corner and just click on the welcome sign. And this is where all of your lessons will be stored. Students can come to this web address and access all of the content you've created. It's an easy way for kids to be able to get the work that you've left for them. But later I'll show you also how to make a website to organize your lessons. Let's go ahead and get started with Educreations though. So I'm going to click on Create a New Lesson, and that brings us to the Whiteboard tablet here. Now I use a Wacom tablet, a bamboo tablet made by Wacom, W-A-C-O-M. They're about $50 to $100. You don't need a very high-end one, but what it does is it allows you to write using a pen rather than using the trackpad, your finger, or a mouse. It just makes it a lot easier for control when you're pen casting your lessons. On here, you can see that you can switch colors and be writing as you go, as you're recording, and it's super easy to do this. There are more options on the iPad app, but this is fine for the web-based one. Now to erase, there's a couple different ways to do that. You can click at the lower left side. This is the undo button, and if you click that, it takes away what you just created. And do it as many times as you want, or you can click the arrow that's going to the right, and that's the redo button. Now at top, there's also an eraser, and if you click on the eraser and drag it over the portion that you've drawn, you can also erase that way. Now one thing I like to do before I begin recording a lesson, I like to prepare the paper, I call it. And some people don't mind pen casting right on and preparing, make sure you select your color, preparing the tablet, like I'll write the lesson number and I'll say prime factorization. But sometimes the pen casting can be kind of tricky, and if you don't like your handwriting, it can be not so great. I'm going to stop here because I want to show you a different way of doing it. Now I recommend having something prepared before you click the record button though. It just saves so you're not doing what I'm doing right now, which is talking and having you listen longer. You want to make your videos short. Now one thing that I like to do as I'm creating these, and I know it seems like an extra step, I like for it to look really uniform. So I go to my Google account and I click on create a new presentation. Now I use this, and I used a simple light and OK. I use Google Presentation all the time, and I use it as a work mat in order to create headings and different kinds of colors and fonts. It's just really easy to work in. So I'm going to go ahead and type it, what I want my lesson to be. It seems crazy, this is like an extra step, but it does come in handy to use this method. All right, so you can make sure things are straight. I'm going to also go ahead and type in at this time some numbers I want to use so that I have those ready to go also for this lesson. Now it's easy to change the font here. You want to use something a little bit different. I like to use this font a lot, but I want to get this all in one line so that it looks there. All right, so I'm ready to go. Now, in order to get this onto the Educreation site, I'm going to take a screenshot of this. So in order to do that on a Mac, I push Command-Shift-4, and you can see crosshairs show up on the screen here. And I'm going to go to the top right corner and click with my trackpad and scroll all the way across till I've covered the area that I want to take a screenshot of, and then let go. this point now I go back to my Educreations lesson. That screenshot was now placed onto my desktop. So I click on this button down below that has a little icon of a picture, and I look for my screenshot. And there it is. That's what I just had typed up. I'll click open, and then it will place it directly onto this whiteboard pad. I can click on this and move it around to wherever I like. Now if I want to continue the lesson, I can click down here at the bottom right on page 2 and set up the next page. But for this tutorial, we're just going to stick with page 1. So now I'm ready to screencast this lesson. And I would select my color that I'm going to pencast in. And when I'm ready, I'm going to go ahead and click record. Now you'll see this sign come up, Adobe Flash Player Settings. Go ahead and click allow and then close. Recording has begun. So let me go ahead and pencast and begin. Today's lesson is about prime factorization, and we're going to talk about numbers that when multiplied together equal 24. We want to know the difference between prime and composite. So I'll think of 4 and 6, and you can go ahead and continue the lesson explaining and talking, and it's recording your voice this whole entire time. And again, you work on this pen casting so that it can be really clear. You also at any time can push pause, and that way you can erase something if you've messed up, or clean it up a bit, or go ahead and add another picture in, or go to a new page. Now when you're finished with this, you click Save, and you can either preview it to replay it, make sure it's what you wanted, or just click Save. Now let's go ahead and title your lesson. I'm going to title this 1-2, Prime Factorization. And it's important under Privacy right here that you click Visible to All. If you don't click Visible to All, later on you won't be able to embed it into your website. You can fill in a summary if you like. You can fill in the subject area also. It's up to you. And then click Save. And there's my lesson. From here, if I wanted to view the lesson, I just click on it. It's going to load it. Click Allow, and then Close. Recording has begun. So let me go ahead and pencast and begin. Okay, we're listening to a lesson within a lesson. And I can edit this lesson or continue to work on it. We'll come back to this page though when we're going to add it into our Google website. But basically, this is how you create a lesson on Educreations using the online version.